Morning, everyone. From Canton, Massachusetts. Game number 4 for the Bishop Kearney Select 19U girls. And then a nice trip home for holiday break. A very much needed break for all the girls and the families. So happy Thanksgiving coming up, everybody. The parity this weekend has been pretty spectacular. As on the other side of the ice, Stansted just took down Shattuck St. Mary's. Naha beat Stansted. BK beat Naha. It's amazing how it all works. Here's been my perch for you guys all weekend, as I'm literally standing on a table trying to get the best view for the viewers at home. The 16s just had an exciting win over Boston Advantage right before us. 2-1 game going into the third. A lot of scoring opportunities both ways. BK 16s, I believe, are ranked about 10th. And Boston Advantage is ranked 4th. BK put a puck in the net late in the third period, ended up with a 3-1 win. Really good, fun game to watch. A lot of college scouts here tonight. So BK facing Northwood for, I believe, the 5th time this season. Maybe the 4th. I know we had 2 at home. I think we had 1 in Buffalo. I feel like we had 1 more. All right. BK is ready. Northwood finishing up their cheer. What's up, buddy? How are you? All right, so Ide and Healy getting the start on D, along with Nella, Gardner, and Chloe up front. As the girls come to the dot, referees are ready. Here we go. Northwood picks up the opening face-off. Pressure to the neutral zone by Nella. Nella walks into the blue line. First shot on goal, glove save. Hopefully Bishop Kearney can sustain some early pressure, as it would be nice to finish 2-2 on the weekend. BK wins the draw. Nella slides it in, back behind the net to Gardner out in front. Off of a Northwood defender, goalie is down. Gardner walks over the circle, reverses, finds Brinson down low out in front. Just missed. Nella crashed in. Here comes Northwood. Northwood's going to get over the red line, and they're going to dump it. And BK is going to do the same. They're going to change. Boyko pressuring in the offensive zone. Puck's off a skate as Tremmel just misses it. And here comes Koalo. Working it back out. Martin keeping it in. Miola walks in, shoots. Shoulder save there. And Northwood picks it up. Back into the zone. Koalo sustaining the pressure. Northwood picks it up. Northwood sends it through the neutral zone. And Romano off the wall. Chipped by Tremmel. And Tremmel's tied up. He's got the puck, shot, save. And that would have been a nice assist for Roman. So shot number 3 for BK early on in this one. As Stock is out with Saracola and Gerson. Puck behind the net. Saracola turns out in front, goes through the legs, picked up, wrap around, tries to throw it in front. Actually, that's not Gerson, that's Panda. Sorry. Too many tucked in uniforms. Puck goes back. Healy passes it over to Saracola. Saracola up the middle, just misses King, and everyone's going to go for a change. Northwood trying to clear the zone. Good pressure by Bishop Kearney to keep it in. Here comes Gerson. Gerson's with Gruwall and O'Donnell behind the net. Works back to Martin at the point. Martin throws it back down low. Out in front, quick shot by Gruwall off the post. And Martin does a good job keeping it in. Northwood picks it up. Outlet pass through the zone. Martin comes back to play it. Over to Ide. Ide off the sidewall here to O'Donnell. And the forwards are going to go for a change. Outlet pass wrapped around, picked up by BK. Gardner tries to slide it back over to the middle. Gardner with it again. Shot, save, rebound. Goes to the left corner. And BK still with the pressure. Gardner, backhand, shot, save, rebound. Out in front, back door. And Northwood picks it up. Nella throws it high into the glass to Brinson. Brinson trying to reverse. Gardner pressuring. Northwood comes out. Northwood sends it through the neutral zone. Intercepted there by Healy. Healy's going to cross over the blue line. She walks in on her own. Healy's got one. Takes the shot, puts it in. And that's the first goal of the game. Number 27, back-to-back days. And short side, 1-0 BK on a really good blind shot as Sophia took over the front of the net, screening the goalie. 1-0 BK. So Northwood picking up the puck, pressured there, intercepted by Hunt. Hunt to Tremmel. Tremmel over to Miola. Shot, save, rebound by Boyko. And we're back down the ice here. We're going to get an icing. And we're going to slide all the way back down for a face-off. As Leibowitz comes on the ice for Miola, so a New Jersey switch. Hunt out with Martin on the backside. At the face-off. Sent around. Gigi steps up. Boyko has it. And Leibowitz trying to keep it in the zone. Tremmel, forecheck. Puck goes around. Boyko side. And Northwood comes out of the zone. Couple BK bodies falling down. Boyko. Hunt behind the net. Tremmel wraps it around, trying to hit Leibowitz. And here comes nobody. We're going to get a roughing penalty on Tremmel. So Addison Tremmel is going to go to the box for 2 minutes. And we're going to get a face-off down to the right of Roman. So Northwood goes 5-on-4 for the next 2. King steps in. Northwood wins the draw. Shot blocked by her own player. Working the point. Slides it over to their winger. Shot on. Saved by Roman. And we got whistles. I don't know why. The net was not off. Maybe they thought Roman covered it, even though the puck was loose. So down again, and Northwood wins it back to the point. Slides it over. First shot blocked by Healy. Northwood picks it up, sends it down to the middle. Another block. This time by King. Puck's down low. working the high. Trying to the middle, another block shot, 3 in a row. And that one's by Saracola, and she comes in. She's going to take a shot on goal, gets her own rebound, and Northwood just barely gets it out. Goes for a change, almost too many men. Good control there as Kowalo sends it out. 1:07 left in Northwood power play. Northwood enters their zone, cross-ice pass, back to the point. Again, another block out of the zone there by 20-something. Gerson, 26. And Northwood gets a chance to enter. Good pressure there by BK up the middle. Tips it out of the zone, and Northwood's forced to regroup. Back across the blue line, 13 blue, picks it up, cuts to the middle. And Gruwal's gonna softly tip it out. Force a Northwood regroup. And Hunt's gonna chase. Hunt behind the net. Makes an outside move off on the wall. Healy comes in to help. Puck's out in front. Northwood shot. Wide. Rebound. So the power play is over. 5-on-5 hockey, and here goes Tremmel. Tremmel fresh out of the box. Slides it up. Good tip pass back to Tremmel. Tremmel's got numbers. And Northwood knocks it out as Martin comes in, throws it deep into the zone, or Ide, that is. Ide comes up hard, gets some hands in the face, got a nice call, waved off as Martin picks it up. Martin skating around the net, centering pass to Nella, who sends it back to Tremmel, and Ide picks it up. Ide, drop pass, Northwood, intercepts. Northwood cuts through the middle, over the blue line. Deep down in the corner of the BK zone. Northwood swings it behind that. Back to the corner. Picked up by BK. Fighting for it near the dot. Northwood sends it down. BK intercepts. Centering pass. Stick at Nella, and I don't think the ref's going to see it that way. So they're going to blow the whistle for an icing. So 9:08 remaining in period number 1. BK is off to a strong start. 1-0 lead. Good sustained pressure. Northwood did spend the last minute or so in the BK zone. But we're back to 5-on-5. Let's see if BK can regain a little momentum here. Puck's back to Bodette. And it's tipped out into the bench area by Saracola. Neutral zone face-off. Face-off won by Tremmel. Back to Healy. Healy walks up the middle, feeling confident, gets over the blue line, crashes down into the zone. Fighting for it behind the net, still on Healy's stick. Healy sends it around to Saracola, who's tied up in front. Saracola working hard to maintain puck control, loses her stick. Picks it up, back to Saracola out in front. And it's tipped back behind the net, good control. She's gonna reverse course. Held up there. And Koala's gonna jump back to the D position. Healy puts a body on her girl, Boyko. Swings around the net. And Northwood, good pressure there, picks it up. Boyko cuts to the middle. She's got numbers. Tries to send it through the middle. Tipped by Northwood, and Northwood's going to re-enter the BK zone. Hunt. Pass over to her D partner, Martin. Martin off the wall, trying to get up to King. King trying to lead Stock, a little bit too far. And that puck goes off Northwood's stick. No icing, as Hunt's going to clear it. Back down for Martin. Northwood working the wall, trying to keep it in. And Hunt's gonna pick it up. And Hunt's got numbers, trying to lead her. Sends it deep down in the zone. Forecheck for Stock. D's gonna go for a change as Northwood back through the zone. Here comes Northwood. Northwood cuts in. Blocked off the feet of, I don't know if that's Bodette. No, that was Healy. Back around to 4. Shot on. Over the blocker. And Healy's going to put it back behind, but it's to Northwood. Northwood out in front. That blind pass. Northwood controlling the line. Swings it over. Shot on. Roman with the save. Rebound sitting there on the right. And King's going to flip it up. And Gerson's going to pressure. Gerson on the forecheck. Northwood trying to come out of the zone. Good pressure there by Gerson. And that's going to force Northwood to send it down. Icing is waved off as Martin swings around. And Qualo and O'Donnell go in. Gruwall. Back to Qualo in the corner. Picked up there by BK. Nice pass there by Gruwall. Hits Brinson. Brinson off the post. And Martin comes in. Martin trying to put it down close to the net. And BK is going to have the offsides. And we're going to be forced to regroup here with 5:34 remaining period number 1. BK has the 1-0 lead. Pushinova sends it down into the offensive zone. And Hunt creeped in a little bit too much. And here comes Northwood. Good back check there by Gardner. Back over to Brinson. Brinson gets hooked, goes down, and BK is going to go back on the power play. Or should I say their first power play. So number 8 has a tripping call. So Tremmel at the draw. Working it back to Ide. Ide trying to keep it in, and she does. Tremmel, pass over to Boyko. Boyko has time, comes around the net. Looking off, sends it over to Ide. Ide back down in the zone. Neola swings it around. Back to Hunt. Hunt walks the middle, steps up, shot, save, rebound is not there. Good save. I think Hunt tried to just tip it up. Throw it into the middle there with Boyko in front for a tip. And with 4:36 remaining in the period, still 1-0. Martin swings it over to Healy. Healy back down to Lapushinova. Lapushinova down low. Swinging around. Gardner takes the shot. Covered up there. Brinson on the draw. Some girls going down. BK behind the net. Looking down low. Tries to swing it out to Nella. Intercepted there, but back to Healy. Healy at the point. Over to Martin. Martin to Healy. Swinging it down to Lapushinova. Lapushinova the shot. Off the blocker. Back to Nella. Trying to hit Martin, cutting in. Martin walks all the way across. Martin pulls up, waits, sends it to Healy. Healy back to Martin. Martin walks in, leaves it for Healy. Healy, shot on, blocked there by Northwood, and they're gonna send it all the way down where it's blocked by BK. Healy had an opportunity to go back. And Nella's gonna swing it over to Gigi. Gigi still in the zone. 22 seconds on the power play. As Brinson comes in, gives a shoulder, and Nella just misses far side. Gardner, toe drag, down low, out in front. And Northwood's gonna send it down the ice. As Romano is gonna wait, send it behind. Good play there by BK. Picked up by Healy. Healy off the wall to Saracola. Saracola centering pass to a streaking King. King comes in, shoots. First one saved behind the net. Stock in the corner, pressuring. And Northwood, good job there. Koalo, short side to King. King sends it up and in. Saracola trying to pressure. Northwood gets it high off the glass, and Koalo comes back in. King sends it deep. Northwood comes up. Good sustained pressure by BK. Hunt's going to come into the zone. Hunt on it, avoids a check. And Northwood's going to send it down the ice, and that's going to be icing. So at 2:02, we're going to come back down for a face-off in the offensive zone. So Northwood wins the draw, sends it out off her own player, and Tremmel just misses that opportunity. Miola up tight. Hyde, reverse pass, picked off by Northwood. Northwood enters the zone. Centering pass, Martin's going to chase. Martin comes in, throwing a body around. And Hyde behind the net. Hyde picks it up. Outlet pass to Boyko. Boyko's got numbers, loses controls, forced to regroup. Up and over to Miola, too far, and we're going to get another icing. Go down the other way for a face-off. 1:27 remaining here in period number 1. Still 1-0 Bishop Kearney. '27. Tossing it down in the corner to 92. 92 chips it up to 9. Back over. And here comes BK. Hunt to Healy. Healy swings it in the zone. Northwood. Far side. Intercepted by La Pushanova. Oh, she tried to cut to the middle. Brinson waits for Nella to get back on sides. Oh, they're going to call that. I don't know. I thought Nella got back. Or I thought Brinson got back, whoever it was. But there's 59 seconds remaining. 92-6-88 on the forward side. Puck goes back to Healy. Sends it over to Nella. Nella centering pass, just missed Brinson. And Gardner's going to come in hard to the zone. Gardner fighting for it. Good stick lift there by Brinson. Picked up by Nella. Nella uses her strength, walks around out in front. Still got time. Back to Healy. Healy, 37. Walks it over. Hunt, down low, tipped by Gardner. Gardner sends it back around to La Pushanova. 30 seconds left. And here comes Northwood. They send it down. Hunt reverses course, back to Healy. Healy hits Brinson. 16 seconds left. Brinson centering pass. And Gardner couldn't control that one. Here comes Northwood. They're going to get a shot off. Northwood comes in across. Try to get a shot off. Good block there by the BKD. The bodies are flying 2-1. And that's the end of period number 1. We will take a break and be right back. All right, so 17 period 2, then we'll get an ice cut. Let's see if BK can sustain some of the pressure they had early on. Miola is out with Tremmel, Boyko, and Ide and Healy on the backside. Puck is down. Tremmel wins it to Ide. Ide over to Healy. Healy up to Miola, centering. Ide's gonna wait and then throw it back into the offensive zone. Northwood on the breakout. Kept in there by Boyko for a moment, then she goes down. Here comes Miola. Miola's got numbers. Pass over to Tremmel. Northwood on the centering breakout. Puck's gonna go down the ice. We're gonna get a whistle. And we're gonna come back down for a face-off. Tired this morning. All right, Gardner swings it, picks it up, shoots it with a block there as Qualo comes down low. Qualo back up to Gardner at the point. Gardner walking the wall, tries to come around the net. Switches with Martin, ref gets in the way. And Nella at the point. Can't keep it in, here comes Northwood. Northwood dumps it into the zone. Martin's gonna chase. Martin comes up with it. Stuck there on the sidewall, and Northwood's going to send it back. Puck's behind the net. And here comes Pushinova. Centering pass, blind pass. And Hunt's going to work for it. Hunt skates around the net. Makes one move, off the wall, cuts it in, stick lift, shot on. And Northwood keeping it in, and Roman's gonna glove it. Puck is down, taken here by BK. With speed, Saracola walks through the middle. Pulls up, stop, tip. Wide, and Stock fakes the slap shot. She comes around, tied up in the corner. Tries to kick pass. King shoots out in front. And Stock gets a little stick from the goalie. Good back check, gotta wait. Stock waits, pulls up. tries to slide it across, loses her stick, and Healy comes up with it. Northwood sends it back down in. Reverse course. Healy up to Stock. Stock off the wall to O'Donnell. O'Donnell's going to send it in. Back off the glass. Not a lot of action here going on. Healy's going to pick it up in the D zone. Waits behind the net. Tries to slide it over to Koalo. And here comes BK down the middle. BK mishandles the puck back to Boyko. Boyko gets the shot. And the save from Northwood. With a little extra in front of the net with Gruel. So BK at the draw. Tremmel tries to slip it through. Puck goes around. All the way back to Martin. Martin over to Tremmel in the middle. Can't handle the pass. Northwood picks it up. Northwood trying to clear it out. They'd have a little bit of a hard time getting any action in the offensive zone. A lot of pucks cleared in the D zone. Uh-oh. A D goes down. Boyko goes down, and here's Northwood. Northwood comes in, shot, and it's in. Five-hole on Romano, and it is a 1-1 ball game. .59 left, period number 2. Still a lot of game time. All right, Brinson at the draw. Won by Northwood. Northwood cuts over the middle, going to dump it into the zone. And Nella behind the net. Trying to get it off the wall there to Healy. Healy trying to tie up numbers. Gardner slipping it to Healy. Healy has Nella. Nella comes in 3-on-1. Back to Brinson. Canella. And Grind out in front. Tip, save, shot. Hunt's going to come in, or Healy's going to come in, take that shot. And Nella puts her girl in the corner. She goes down awkwardly. No call there. Chip pass. And here comes Gardner. Gardner swings it down, trying to get a shot off. And Northwood breaks out 2-on-2. Martin comes up, takes out one. Nella's still with it. Back into the neutral zone. Saracola wraps it around to Martin. Taken there by Northwood. Still with it. Northwood working. Shot, blocked there. And BK is going to clear it. They're going to get a change. Picked off there. Blind pass there from Saracola. Saracola comes in. Shot by King. I think that's King. And Northwood breaks out. Shot up. Paiaveva hits the glass. Off a stick. They're going to call icing? They are. And we're going to go down with 10:54 remaining here in the period. It's a 1-1 ball game. So Stock is out with Leibowitz. and King. Stock the draw. One there by Northwood. Northwood shot wide. Leibowitz pulls up, pucks in the middle. Here comes Stock. Stock through the neutral zone. She's got King, sends it over. King pulls up, stops, waits, reverses course, cuts to the middle, sends it down low to Leibowitz. Leibowitz mishandles the puck. Stock picks it up. Leibowitz cuts to the front. Stock battling down low. And Northwood coming in one-on-one through the legs of Hunt. She goes down. And Ide gets a good stick there. And Northwood slams a BK kid into the boards from behind, and she is down. All right, so Stock is back up. She's the one that got hit from behind. Chelsea is losing her shit. I believe they're giving her a hold, and she wants a hit from behind. And what you can hear her say is that we literally just talked about this. I thought it was a hit from behind. All right, so BK is going to go to the power play here. Tremmel is out with Boyko and Miola. And on the backside is Hunt and Healy. Still 1-1 game. Got awful quiet in here. All right, referees are ready. But wins the draw, sends it around. Healy there to pick it up. That's back to the middle though. Good play there by Tremmel. Keeps it in Miola. Miola passes it to the middle. Nobody there. And Healy's going to skate back for it. Healy works the back of the net. Up to Tremmel. Tremmel cuts into the zone. Tremmel waits, shoots into the gut. So Brinson now takes the draw, picked up by Lapushinova. Lapushinova comes in. Oh, cross-ice pass. Had one, put a little bit behind her, and BK is going to regroup. Healy to Nella. Nella walking in from behind, switching with Healy. Nella puts it on net for a rebound. Nothing there, nothing doing. Brinson back at the dot. Puck's down. Taken there by BK. Healy at the top. Sends it back down to Martin. Martin quickly over to Nella. Pad save. Nella works it down low. Looking for Gardner. Gardner with it. Back to Lapushinova. Lapushinova walking into the top. Hits Healy. Back over to Nella. Nella walks into the middle. Looking for numbers. Healy on the far side. Couldn't connect. Good try there by BK. As Gardner back behind the net. Back to Healy. Healy, side pass to Nella, tries from the other side, hits the glass. And we're going to get a cross-checking penalty. 92 white, so Gardner's going to go to the box for a cross-check. So that negates the power play, and for the next 28 seconds, we will be playing 4-on-4 hockey. Northwood, D to D, trying to make something happen here. Cutting to the middle, shot, Blocked by BK, and here comes Koalo. Koalo 4-on-4. She gets the puck taken off her stick. And Northwood's coming back the other way. Northwood's got a 1-on-1. Good back check here. Martin's gonna take care of that one. And the puck's back to Miola. Northwood gonna resume the power play as Koalo gonna skate over the blue line. Koalo cuts in, tries to make a backhand pass over to Tremmel, and we got more whistles. And as Northwood made a change, there must have been a penalty behind the play. So we're going to go back to some 4-on-4 hockey here as Northwood's going to get a tripping penalty. So face-off by Brinson. Northwood takes it originally, but Nella picks it up in the neutral zone. Nella walks across the blue line. Quick move down to the corner. Has Chloe back to Nella. Moving up. Healy shoots, save. Healy's got a rebound. Over, blocker. Back out to Nella. And Nella blocks it off her stick, can't keep it in the zone. BK is going to regroup, and Healy's going to enter. Healy back to Nella. Nella cuts to the middle quickly. Makes another move. Good block there defensively. And Healy literally just tackles the Northwood girl. All right. So back to the power play. Healy pleading her case. Even Coach here said it should have been on them, so something must have happened that I missed before the play. All right, so we're going to play 4-on-3. Northwood calls a timeout. So I didn't see it. I just saw her tackle her. What happened before? Yeah. I think Aaron knew it was Sunday and decided to go for the tackle. Any given Sunday. All right, so BK comes out with Brinson, Martin, and Hunt. See if we can defensively just get the puck out. 4-on-3 power play here. Northwood working the blue line, sending it down low. Back up high. Northwood looking for traffic in front. Shot wide of Romano. Walks up, far side, rebound. And Hunt gonna chase out for it. Northwood picks it up, sends it back to the middle. Down low, shot, saved by Romano. A little tied up traffic in front. Another save by Romano. And Hunt clearing the way. So 1 second left in the Gardner penalty. Then we'll go 4-on-4. Puck's down. Gardner out of the box. 4-on-4 hockey, and we got a time here. Send it up. Oh, here we go. Healy comes in, shot. Oh, bar. Puck back up, and that wasn't Healy, that was Nella. Gardner shot on, save. And Northwood gonna cover it. Guys, sorry my camera skills are way off today. It is freezing in here, and I'm trying to go one-handed, put one hand in my pocket. And I gotta be honest, it's not really an exciting game. Puck back to the point. Works it over. Martin trying to swing it to Lapushinova. Tied up in the corner. Here comes Gardner. Gardner works it to Nella. Nella walks through the middle. Out in front. Good opportunity there by Gardner. As Gardner keeps moving, she's tied up. And Northwood has the power play yet again. 5-on-4. 32 seconds left in the Healy penalty. So back and forth here on power plays. 4-on-4s. As Hunt's going to go down to the corner. She ties her girl up, allowing Koala to take the puck. Oh, Koala goes down, loses an edge. Back to Northwood, over in the corner. Northwood back to the point. The slapper, saved by Roman. 2-1, and we are back to 5-on-5 hockey. As Hunt throwing the body. Ooh, there's a hit right there. O'Donnell, no call. Koala. Trying to find somebody. Puck goes back down. Hunt's gonna chase, throws the body to the wall. O'Donnell ties up her girl. And here comes Saracola. Saracola throwing it out to Nella, a little bit too much behind her. And the puck goes down. Near side, O'Donnell with Koala steps up. And Gerson with an opportunity there, but good play by Northwood on the wall. As Gruwall is going to come in and chase. Gruwall behind the net. Tremmel comes in. Both girls throw their hands up. Ide back to Healy. Healy out of the box. She sends it over. And here's King. King on the chase. Gives it back. Centering pass. Back to the point. Ide's going to release it in. Stock. Working the wall. Back to the point. Picked up by Healy. Healy's got Ide. Working herself backwards. Finds King. King's going to dump it in. BK is going to get some new forwards. King back down. Saracola comes out. Saracola trying to reverse it to Gigi Martin. Lost it in the feet of a Northwood player, and Saracola still has it. Works the middle. Saracola shot. And a good save there by Northwood. So with 3:39 remaining in period 2, it's still a 1-1 game. Northwood wins the draw. Stretch breakout. Tries to send it in. Martin puts a stick on it. Northwood forced to regroup. Northwood waits. Sends it back down. Martin makes a move. Crossing over the middle. Sent back in. And Hunt's going to pick it up behind the net. Hunt brings it around to Tremmel. Tremmel got some time and space. Tremmel cuts to the middle. Good job there by Boyko on the screen, and Boyko comes up with it. North out of the zone, taken by Ide. Ide up the sidewall to Miola. Miola's got to pull up and wait. Girls are offsides. Miola's going to dump it down. Boyko's going to chase. .237 left. Northwood's D zone. Sends it out. A little bit too far, and Koala's going to come up with it. Koala loses it on the wall, and Nella comes in. Here comes Northwood. Northwood shot wide of the net. Another shot wide. Nella Backdoor pass to Brinson, taken there by Northwood. Northwood comes across the middle. The Northwood girl tried to lay a hit, and 92 just put her ass out. Good hip check there by 90. Even though really I think she was just protecting herself from a hit. Northwood back at the point. Shot wide. 150 remaining. And Koalo gives a little nudge. And here comes Nella. Nella's got a 1-on-3. Send it out in front to Brinson. Brinson, backdoor pass. Gardner to snap. And a good save there by Northwood. So we got a minute 37 remaining. Get an ice cut. Come back for period number 3. Stock on the draw. Northwood takes it, trying to clear it out. And Hunt trying to tie up her girl. I think she lost an edge. Northwood in the corner. Healy swings it around. Bad bounce on Hunt's stick. Hunt centering past the Stock. Trying to get the shot off, and it's in the glove. We're going to get a whistle. Boyko runs around the net, puts it back to Martin. Martin walks down, over to Tremmel, taken there by Northwood. Now Miola has it. Miola walking to the middle, trying to find some good shot on net. It's loose. Find it. Puck's behind the net, out in front. And Northwood's got to clear it, and they do. And Healy's going to have to chase the puck. Icing waved off. Good job by Northwood to get there. And here comes Boyko. Boyko slides the puck to the middle. Tremmel behind. Puck's out of the zone. And Miola curls, goes off sides. And we got 21 seconds remaining. Gardner enters the zone, 17, 16, cuts to the front, shot, paddle save, the puck is loose, rebound back door, another save. And Northwood comes out of the zone. Good back check there by trying to get on it, and that's going to be it. That's the buzzer. All right, we will see you guys back in about 10 minutes. All right, y'all, teams are back, teams are out. Third period is about to begin. 1-1 game. This is tight, but hopefully BK can figure it out. All right, referees are ready. Brinson's in the dot, and here we go. Puck is down, BK wins it. Gardner picks it up, picked off there at the red line, sent down by Northwood. And Ide's gonna chase. Ide works the wall, trying to get the puck up to Nella. Nella cuts in and out, she's taken down, no call. Blind pass, Northwood picks it, up the middle. Cross ice pass. Healy stops it at the blue line. Up through the center. As Ides help protect. And Gardner cuts across the middle. Gardner waits, comes back into the inside, makes the quick move back, still has the puck. Finds Tremmel cutting in. Tremmel shot up over the net. And it's back into the Northwood goalie. And we have a stoppage. 16-11. All right. Puck's behind the net. Boyko with it. Cuts to the middle. Gets it back to the D. Pops it over. Martin puts it up. And a good stick there by Miola in the corner. Miola sends it out in front to Boyko. And Boyko losing control. Miola and her switch. Puck goes back down the ice. And Roman comes out to play it. Roman, backhand pass to Koalo. She goes back around over to Martin. Martin tries to swing it up to Miola. Centering pass quick. The Tremmel a little bit too far. And Northwood's going to send it back down. Off the wall, back in the zone. Hunt's going to chase. Hunt picks it up behind the net. Slides it up to Boyko. Boyko gets a pass her girl, and here goes Saracola. Saracola strides down the wall, cuts to the middle. Shot! Ooh, just missed. I don't think the goalie saw that one. Good play there by BK. And here comes Northwood. Northwood gets a shot, blocked there by Hunt as she takes her girl into the wall. Puck's tied up. Hunt swings it behind to Healy. Healy picks it up, trying to get it up to King. Puck's out in front. Off Roman's stick. Here comes Northwood, blocked there by Hunt. And O'Donnell trying to send it up. And Hunt finally clears it out. Northwood going to get a change. Good pressure sustained there by King. Sent back down. Ide's going to chase. Ide swings it back to Healy. Healy looks up ice. Northwood regroups. Sends it back down. She goes down on her own. Loses an edge. And Healy off the wall to O'Donnell, but Northwood comes in with some pressure, and Healy's forced to pick it up again. This time, Nella sends it up to Brinson. Brinson on the spin. She's going to send it down, go around the D, cut in, try to push to the front there. It's out in front. Here's Ide. Ide the shot. Oh, it hits the glass up over the net. And Northwood's going to cross over, but Nella does a good job of getting back. Nella cuts to the middle. Nella's got 1-on-3. She takes out the first one. Gardner goes down in the middle. Nella's still with it. Shoots. Blocked there. And Martin down early in the corner, back out front. Scoring opportunity there for BK. Martin back behind the net. Got one. Puts it off the pad. Another one. Rebound. And that one's going to go up into the netting. So 13-12 remaining. BK, a little bit of pressure here. Tremmel on the draw, sends it back to the point. Healy trying to dump it in. Northwood takes it. Northwood punches it in the zone, and Roman is forced to cover. So 13 exactly on the clock. 4 minutes gone in the period. Still 1-1. Puck back down. Boyko trying to get it. Northwood comes in. Shot. And it was loose. Whistle was blown. Referee thought it was in Romano's glove. And Ava's got her helmet off. Trying to brush the sweat out of her eye. All right, we're all ready to go. Puck's one back. Koalo trying to send it north, but it's picked off there. Pass over, shot, and it's in, up and over. Fanned on the first one and grabbed the second one. And Northwood takes the 2-1 lead. So Brinson wins the faceoff back to Nella. Centering pass back to Brinson. And Martin gonna retract. Off the wall and up, off the skate. Martin's got it. Martin's gonna come into the zone with speed. Crosses over the blue line. Martin cuts into the middle. Stick it in, and here comes Nella. Nella works back. She's got Gardner, shot, pads, and exits the zone as Hunt was up in the play. Hunt trying to set it back to Martin. Martin back to Hunt. Doesn't make it. And here comes Nella. Nella, toe drag, back to Gardner. Gardner, cross, Nella shot. Oh, good opportunity there, just missed the net. And Nella picks it off, comes in, shoots, scores! And just like that, it is 2-2 with 11:36 left. Gruel at the draw. Puck's down. Back in the neutral zone. Northwood picks it up, dumps it down in, got one coming. Northwood picks it. Shot. Good chest save there by Roman. And Healy, forced to find some space herself, does. Sends it over to Gruel. She tries to throw it into the zone. And Healy up tight. Puck goes back into the neutral zone. Good pass there by Northwood. Northwood comes in, shot, saved by Roman. Good save there as the BK defense was missing for a moment. And Roman's helmet's off again. Referee's talking to her. I don't know if she's just trying to get a little bit of a break. Or trying to fix her helmet. And Roman back ready. 11:04 left. Tremmel. And here comes BK. Tremmel with the puck. Works to the middle. Tremmel waits. Far side. Shot. Good glove. And Koalo comes up tight. Again, we got a 2-on-1 the other way. Martin. And here comes BK again. Tremmel over the blue line. She's got Boyko far side shot. Gut save. 10:35 left. Shot over the net by Saracola. It's out in front, loose. Saracola pressuring down low. And Stock's working it in the corner. Her girls goes down. Northwood comes up with it. They send it to the middle. Forcing Healy to go back and get it. Roman tries to pass it up. Intercepted by Northwood, but a good play there by Healy to tie up her girl. Stock and King working with Healy. Healy to Stock. Stock backdoor to Healy. Healy off the wall to King. King's going to turn it up ice. Hits Stock. Cutting on the left side. Stock walks in. Waits. Pauses. Sends it back down low. And Gardner right there skips over her stick. Northwood walks the neutral zone. Northwood cuts across. Gets the shot on. Saved there by Roman. Back up the ice. Northwood. Cuts in, shot, and a great save there by Roman. Keep it a 2-2 game. BK is just making some stupid passing decisions. Keep it simple. Back to the point. Northwood blocked there by Gardner. Martin off the wall to Gardner. Gardner's tied up. And that allows for Nella to pick the puck up. Nella comes in one-on-one. Good back check. Switching with Sin. Leaves it there. But Brinson can't handle it. And Koalo goes off sides. So Gruel's going to take the draw. Puck runs back to Healy. Healy cutting through the middle, trying to send it in. Blocked there. And it's back up. Puck goes down. We're going to get an icing. Head back down. 2-2 ball game. 8:37 left, period number 3. Gruel, O'Donnell, and Gerson. Oh, backdrop. Ties up her girl. Gerson sends it down to the corner, back to Gruel. Northwood chips it around the net, back up the sidewall. It's in front. Picked there for a moment by Gerson and exits the zone. Northwood comes up with it, crossing over the line, sends it deep. Koalo working the wall, intercepted by Northwood. Northwood comes in, down low, picked off again by Healy though. And she does a good job of clearing that to the wall as Gruel swings it on the sidewall. And that brings up another whistle. We're gonna have a center ice face-off as Tremmel and Boyko and Miola crashing down. Northwood through the zone. Held up there by Martin. Out in front, Northwood shot. Saved by Roman, goes to the back of the net. Another save by Roman. She's gonna cover it. right, Tremmel wins the draw. Back to Martin. Martin cross ice over to Boyko. Gets by the Northwood girl. And Miola's going to chase. And a good step up there by number 4, Avery Ide. Through the middle is Tremmel. And Tremmel cuts the outside. Gets a shot, pad save, rebound. It's there, loose. And up over the netting. Up over the glass, excuse me, or the net itself. Yes, the net. Jesus, Kevin, wake up. Northwood out of the zone. Picked up there by Healy. She's going to send it back down in. BK forwards go for a change. Northwood through the middle, up on the blue line, cuts in. Centering pass. A little bit too far, and here comes Saracola with speed. Tries to feed Stock. Stock's got to enter. We're gonna get an icing. I thought Stock touched it on the way. Yeah, wake up, Kevin. WTF. Kevin! Can hear my mother-in-law just screaming. All right, so Brenson's gonna go to the draw. Bucks down, taken by Northwood. Good quick shot up and over Romano, and La Pushinova picks it up. Nella's taken down behind the net, no call there. Off the wall, Gardner. Over the red line, trying to hit Brinson. Stays on sides. Gardner with the puck. She's got a trailer. She comes around herself, and she's buried into the netting. So Gardner gets up. Looks like the ref pointed maybe to an outside faceoff. Should be inside, though. She got pushed in. All right, inside faceoff. All right, Gardner sends it in. Regroup, back to Gardner. Cuts to the middle. Shot. Good save there. And Koalo comes in hard to Martin, or excuse me, Brinson. Brinson to Nella. Nella cuts outside in. Tries to fire it on net, but it's blocked there by the Northwood defense. And Gigi's got some space, and she's got Nella. Nella comes in, loses for a moment, back to Martin. Goes off of a Northwood sick. And Northwood working hard for it. And here comes Hunt. Hunt regroups off the wall. Hunt, kick pass up, trying to hit Tremmel. And it's back to Boyko. Boyko works it. Pass over to Miola. Miola walks it into the zone. Miola cuts to the middle. Looking for a shot. She's taken down. No call. Hopefully the refs just put their whistles away for this third period. Back and forth action. 5 minutes left. Just under 5. Northwood comes out with it. Centering pass. And Hunt's going to take it. Hunt looks to the middle. Finds one early. Here's a 2-on-2. We got numbers. Miola sends it back in the zone. Nothing going there. And Ide steps up. Healy back in the D zone. Hits Ide. Ide back over to Healy. Healy crosses over the blue line. She's going to send it deep and chase. Forces the turnover to Stock. Stock in the corner boards. Now Northwood behind the net. Stock pressuring well. Northwood picks it up, sends it through the neutral zone, where it's picked up there by Martin. Martin sending it back down is Saracola on the ice. Panda's chasing. Puck is stuck out at the blue line, and girls are going down everywhere. Oh, she stood up. Saracola just stood up. And Panda with the puck. Panda back to Koalo. Koalo walks out. And Northwood picks it. And they're going to come out. Northwood trying to get into the zone. as Martin comes back in. Northwood maintains control, throws it to the front there. Gigi off a skate, back out to the front. Northwood still maintaining control here. Good work by Northwood. Over to the winger, shot. Roman got a piece of it. And we're gonna get an icing. So with 3 minutes and 9 seconds left, we're gonna come back down in to the BK zone, 2-2 game. So 3:09 left. Girls are switching spots here. And it goes back to Hunt. Hunt behind the net. Sends it out to Nella. Nella lets it get through. Northwood sends it back down. Healy's going to regroup this time. Healy trying to find Nella again. Has to be forced to turn around. Nella works it over to Hunt. Hunt was cut into the middle of the net. Back on the sidewall. Hunt flips it up to Gardner. Gardner hits the cross ice right to Nella. Nella, here she comes. Nella comes in, cuts to the middle, shot, rebound. No rebound. Save there by Northwood. And we got 2.5 left. Puck down, Northwood takes it behind the net, swings it off the wall. Hunt comes in with Gardner, try to support. Back behind the net. And there's the breakout pass. Cuts in, off and skate, breaks up the play. Healy comes up with it. Healy reverses course. Hits Brinson. Brinson up to Nella. Nella softly in the zone. Gardner goes down. Northwood picks it up. And here comes Northwood. Northwood's got a 3-on-2. Back pass, cutting down the right side, cuts to the middle, shot, saved by Roman. And Nella's gonna pick up the rebound. 1:51 remaining. And here comes Lapushanova. She comes in with speed, makes a move. 3-on-1, she's taken down, another no call. And now we're gonna get a body check, so maybe Nella pulled the call. Yep. So Nella decides to use her speed, come in hard, and she gets checked. And BK with 1:40 is gonna go on a 1:40 power play unless it goes overtime. Timeout, Bishop Kearney. All right, let's see if BK can set something up here. 1:40 remaining in the game. 2-minute power play. Puck. Healy reverses course to Nella. Nella waiting, pulls it down low. Out in front is Gardner. Gardner back to Nella. Nella looks, waits, finds Healy up top. Healy gets a shot on, tipped. It's loose, it's under, it's loose. And girls are just coming in hard. Far side face-off. On the draw, Brinson ties up her center. Puck won by BK. Cross-ice pass. Nella working the right. Shot on. In. Martin comes up. Swings it back around down low to Gardner. Gardner wraps it around to Lapushinova. Lapushinova looks, waits. Finds Healy at the top. Healy walks the middle. Shoots. Good save there. Rebound by Gigi. And puck's behind the net. Sound down, up and over. And we got 46 seconds left as BK is forced to regroup. And here comes Healy. Healy over to Lapushinova. On her backhand, gets it to her forehand. Nella comes in hard, swings it. Shot by Gardner. Goes into the corner. And Northwood sends it. Northwood's got numbers. She's got one. And Northwood girl trying to tie it up for the 19 seconds. Puck is out. Northwood still has it. They send it back in. 10, 9, 8. And we're going to go overtime. All right, there's the buzzer. So we're going to go to overtime play. I'm going to shut the camera off for a minute, so don't go anywhere. All right, last 5 minutes of the weekend. OT. 4-on-4. BK will start 4-on-3 for 20 seconds. Tremmel steps into the draw. Puck is down. Northwood wins it. Sends it back into the BK zone. 15 on the clock. 12, 10, 9. Pushing over with the puck. Steps over to blue line. Waits, pulls up, outside in move, comes to the front of the net, tries to put it off the goalie. He covers it, and we are back to 4-on-4 in OT. Oh, 3-on-3 hockey, so it's going to be 3-on-3, not 4-on-4. So Northwood, a lot of open space here. Healy on it. Healy reverses course, sends it over. Patiently waiting is Nella, but Nella's picked at the blue line, keeps it in. And nope, doesn't keep it in. They're going to call it offsides. So 6:92 and 7 this time around. Puck's down. Northwood with it. Trying to enter the zone here. They get a quick change. And Northwood picks it, enters. Good job by Martin. Tried to go through the legs. And Gigi comes into the middle. Gigi's got numbers, 3-on-1. Gigi back to Gardner. Gardner shoots. It's loose. In front. The goalie never had it. The D pushed it back into her. The whistle goes off. So 3:48 remaining. Puck is down. Tremble ties her up. Shot. Oh, glove save by Northwood. I don't think she saw it. Threw her glove up in the air. Blocked it, and Northwood comes up. Nella goes down into the boards. We got a 3-on-1. 3 on Healy. Back to the middle. Shot. Saved by Roman. It's loose, and it's cleared by BK. Northwood patiently waiting for the puck. Comes into the neutral zone, over the red line. Back pass there to the D. Sends it over to the open space. And Northwood gonna regroup through the neutral zone. Cut in, stick block by Martin. Martin kicks it out of the zone, and she's got numbers. Here comes Brinson. Brinson takes the shot, goes wide. Northwood waiting again. Line change for Nella. Cuts into the zone. Dumps it down low as Gardner comes up with it. Northwood, pass over to the wing, shot, wide of the net. Back to the points, out of the zone. Northwood's gonna regroup. 2:20 left on the clock. Northwood curls, tries to enter the zone. Off the stick of Gardner. Brinson, back pass to Healy. Healy works it up to Gardner. Gardner through the neutral zone. Makes a move to the middle. She's taken down. No call. Looks for it. She gives her a nice slash there, but leaves it out in front. And Gardner still has it. Puck goes out of the zone, but Martin's there. Martin, fake pass, walks to the middle. Martin, blind pass. And a good job there by 2 Europeans on the ice now with a Californian. And here comes Northwood. Northwood swings it. Actually, I should have said 3 out-of-country people and 1 Californian, as Roman's on the ice. We're going to get a line change, so 1:27 left. Both teams have had a few opportunities here. So Tremble on the draw. She's tied up, wins it. Hooked. Whistles are away. Healy works it up to Lapushinova. Centering pass to Tremble. Tremble comes in, shoot! Oh, and a nice glove save there by the Northwood goalie. Great opportunity there. We got 1:12 left. All right, Tremble. Puck is down. Northwood wins it, sends it around. Good pressure there by Tremble. Tremble has Lapushinova. She comes in, backhand, forehand, just goes wide. Second good opportunity there as the puck's down on the sidewall. Northwood waits patiently behind the net. Works it up the ice, 40 seconds remaining. Walks around Tremble. Cuts to the middle, shot just over the glass. Bad bounce there. And good job Nella was there for it. We got 30 seconds remaining as puck's down to Tremble. Tremble steps in, waits, works to the middle, shot in the glove again of the Northwood goalie. And we got 21 seconds on the clock. Healy Gardner. Puck is down. One there. And Healy's going to send it around. Down low. Brinson's got a chase. Puck goes back around. Here comes Northwood. Northwood trying to send it. Now it's a speed race. Healy comes over just to clear the zone. And offsides with 3 seconds left. .7 to be exact. Brinson wins the draw, and Sophia's just going to cover it. And we go to a shootout. Another 3-on-3. What are we doing? Game over? Are we ending in a tie? All the teams are coming off the bench. And we're going to end it in a tie, everybody. All right. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your family and your girls when they make their way home.